Hi, welcome back to East Lyme, Issues and Answers, where every couple of weeks or so we sit down with department heads, commissioners, people in town that are doing things in our community that are noteworthy. And today is going to be no exception. First, I'll get to a few items that are going on in town. Have you been on the boardwalk yet? It is crowded. People are smiling. They're jogging. It's a good scene down there. We're finally open fully. You can enter from both sides. And I was out this past weekend, and it was shoulder to shoulder people, and that's exciting. It's exciting that we have this resource that we've been waiting for so long. It's finally open, and people are getting out there, and people are visiting our towns too. I'm getting emails and comments from people from out of town. They're coming into East Lyme. They're checking out the boardwalk, all that big news stuff, and then they're staying on our main street and shopping in some of the new shops, etc. So get out there and enjoy it if you haven't already. And before you know it, beach season will be here. April 24th, depending on when you're watching the show, it's of course it's taped in advance, but there's the Boardwalk 5K happening on Sunday, which will be a very large event. We're also planning on the ribbon cutting of the boardwalk, the official opening of the boardwalk, sometime over the Memorial Day weekend, which will be the Saturday of the Memorial Day weekend. We're going to have a ceremony where we have the dignitaries come on in, cut the ribbon, make it official, have the news crews down here. Looking forward to that as well. April 30th, again, depending on when you're watching the show, we're planning on a memorial service and a celebration of life for Maddie Garaya and the Garaya family. And that will take place at East Lyme High School on the football field with good weather, where there'll be a video shown and also some folks to speak to the community and those that want to support the family. I urge you to come out and just spread the news. And on May 21st, the ever popular Touch-A-Truck, where all these little munchkins, all these little rugrats from town and from really all over come over to McCook's Park, where all the construction will be done, the new sidewalks, but all the new parking lot will be finished by then. And we'll have the Touch-A-Truck event, which is always a good time with some food trucks and Rotary and Lions. People will be up there cooking food and delivering food. May 21st, that's a Saturday. Pray for good weather. We usually have it on that weekend. And that benefits a child and family agency, which is a great agency. I believe they're housed over in New London. They do great things for great people. So please come on out if you have grandkids, kids, neighbors, anybody under 6 or 7 especially. Boy, they love to climb all over the trucks. They get in there and with the steering wheel and get to see the immense tires on some of these trucks, etc. So fun stuff coming up. Also, we have all sorts of other things happening, including a production of the East Lyme Players coming up June 3rd and 4th. What is that, you say? Well, I have people here to tell you all about it. I have Cathy Wilson, director of the Senior Center in town. Welcome back, Cathy.
Thank you, Mark.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Once again. And our guest is Joyce Beauvais. She's the founder and artistic director of the East Lyme Players, kind of a subgroup of the Senior Center.
Correct.
Isn't that true?
Correct.
First of all, Cathy, what's going on at the Senior Center? Any good news to tell us about?
There's always good news at the Senior Center, always. And we're always busy. What we're doing right now is, one of the big things that's being planned is the Shred Day that we do annually. That will be Saturday, May 7th, at the Community Center parking lot from 9 to 12. So people can bring all of their personal items that they want to dispose of and dispose of it properly so nobody can get to them. There's a big truck that comes with the shredder on site. The papers get dumped into a big garbage can. Once that gets full, it gets pulled over to the truck, it gets dumped in, it gets all cut up. So that's something that's sponsored by the East Lyme PBA. We do this. It used to be annually, now it's twice a year, usually in May and September. And we do it in May because it's after tax season, so people can get rid of their old tax
That's wonderful.
documents.
And I've been there several times in a row. It's a drive-through service.
It's a drive-through service.
You pull your car in and all these people come on by, which boxes have got to go, and
Right.
you can watch them put the stuff away.
If
But
you-
it's
if
all
you choose to do that,
certifiably shredded. But it's done, the Police Benevolent Association
Correct.
puts it on
Correct.
with
Correct.
the Senior Center.
Correct. And we ask for a donation of
Assistance.
non-perishable food for care and share if people are so inclined to bring something.
Good to know. May 7th, Saturday.
9 to 12.
Write it on your calendar.
Rain or shine, we've
All
been
right.
there. Great weather, bad weather, doesn't matter, we're there.
Great. Anything else going on that we should update?
We have we have a dance coming up in May. I'm going to say it's that May 6th. I believe it's that first Friday in May. The Illusions Band, that's sort of our house band. They come on Friday from 7 to 10. Great time. They're what I would describe as a really good wedding band. So they play anything from a polka to a waltz to a cha-cha, whatever it is.
Sure.
And so that's always a lot of fun. And I'm always amazed by the women that are there in the high heel shoes, dancing all night. I'm there in my sneakers. And I'm like,
Yeah,
I can't take it anymore. And they love it. They would stay till 11, 12 o'clock, but I'm like, okay, it's 10 o'clock, people, you guys got to go.
It's your bedtime.
So,
Go
yes,
home.
right. So they have a great time. So that's always a terrific event to have.
That's awesome. You know, the senior population in our town, our demographic is rising and projected to rise dramatically over the next 20 years. The projection is another 20% of our population will be over 65. So your department becomes important. The activities you do
Not becomes important.
is important.
Is important.
Becomes more important.
There you go.
Becomes more of a focus in our town.
Yes.
You know, we always push for very important good schools and good recreation activities.
Quality of
throughout the-
life
Quality
issues.
of life.
Right.
And the senior center is no different. Thank you for correcting me on that.
My pleasure, Mark.
She does it all the time. We want to leave plenty of room for Joyce Beauvais. Joyce, welcome to our show.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Nice of you to come by. Tell me about the East Lyme Players. What is that? I've never heard of it. Yes, I have. Yes, I have, but those people
But if you
haven't.
haven't.
Right.
The East Lyme Players are just a fantastic group of people. Mostly, they're retired adults, so most of them are seniors. But everybody, any adult is welcome. We rehearse during the day, and everyone found out about it through Cathy and her courier and her email blasts. And we're in rehearsal now for our fourth major production.
Fourth major production.
And this time we're doing 2 shows.
We're excited
Thanks
about
to the first selectman, Mark Nickerson.
that. So June 3rd will be an afternoon show?
No, that'll
or-
be an evening
That's
show.
the
That's
evening
a
show.
Friday. And
Okay.
it's a dinner theater. So Cathy will be serving dinner,
Hey.
beautiful catered meal, and then people will enjoy the show. And then the next show on Saturday is a matinee, and that will be with a reception afterwards to meet the cast and have a little mocktails and
And a nosh.
cheese and crackers. And,
Wonderful.
And the show, however, is what's going to bring everybody in.
Indeed,
and-
the talent.
Yeah, including the talent that's bringing forth on that stage. But the show is The Odd Couple, the female version. This show is a hoot. I mean, it is so funny. In the original Odd Couple, it was Oscar, Madison, and
Felix.
Unger.
Sure.
So now it's all of Madison and Florence Unger.
Love
And instead of the Pigeon Sisters, it's the Costazuela brothers. And the 2 actors, Tom Blunden and Bob Salin, who are playing the Costazuela brothers, are 2 of the funniest men. Talk about ham. There won't be any ham left in the country by the time they're finished. And the leads, Olive and Florence, are Ginny Katz from Niantic and Phyllis Lee from Niantic. And Phyllis does a lot of our photography, sends it out on our Facebook and to all the cast members and to the newspapers.
Great.
And they're all founding members. Everybody sticks with us that comes on board, and it really changes everybody's lives. It's become a social circle.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They do everything together outside of and in between rehearsals and in between productions, meeting at the beach, having a party at someone's home, and it's also a goal. Sometimes we have members who are ill, and their goal is to get back to the club, to the drama club, to
That's
the East Lyme
wonderful.
Players. And that's the goal, to come back from tremendous illness and join us.
That's wonderful. Now you have an extensive resume.
I do.
It's 5 pages long.
Yeah, as old as I am, back in the dark ages when I was born.
And so first of all, thank you for bringing your talent
Thanks.
in your history to East Lyme and making our community richer. Because this is a great thing. Now, this isn't to be confused with the East Lyme Regional Theater, which is a division of Parks and Rec, and they put on the big productions maybe once or twice a year. And there's kids involved in all of it. This is mostly all adults. Oh, they are all adults,
Yes.
and mostly seniors, because you're rehearsing in the middle of the day.
Yes.
But so if you could give me like the last couple, give me the abridged version of your resume. How did you find us here in East Lyme? What got you here? Good question, huh? What is some of the work you've done? I know. So I threw
I'm
that
new to Connecticut.
hardball at you.
I'm new to. I lived in New York City and was very busy in the theater world as an actor, as a producer. I owned my own jazz club in Manhattan called Chez Beauvais Restaurant and Cabaret. I produced on and off Broadway. I acted on and off Broadway in films and TV. I started acting when I was 7. And I moved to Florida after 30 years in New York City and stayed there for a few years. And then a dear friend of mine who had been a mentor all my life and kind of a family member, who's a great Broadway actress, and I'm not going to say her name because she's ill, but her husband passed and she's suffering from Alzheimer's and lives here in the area. And the family lives in California and asked me if I would leave Florida and come and oversee her care. And I said, yeah, she's done so much for me all my life, I'm going to do it. But she was an actress, and one way to care for her was to start doing what I was also doing in Florida, and that was to go to senior centers and open up drama clubs. And I started at the Estuary. Then I combined I met Cathy. Then it was love at first sight.
Right. That's perfect. The director and the producer.
She is. And I combined the Estuary with the East Lyme Players. And I also run the Ivyton Players with my partner there. My Cathy there is Jackie Hubbard with the Ivyton Playhouse. But here's the hook. Here's what's so much fun about doing the East Lyme Players. We do it as a staged reading. And you might think, oh gosh, everybody's just with their nose in their script. But we rehearse for so many months that everybody is so familiar with the scripts that within a minute of the production starting, it's fully staged and propped and costumed and mic'd, we hope.
Another
We're working
discussion.
on it.
The scripts virtually disappear for the audience. And that's the fun, because people that might have always dreamed about being in the theater or were in the theater when they were in high school or college, they have the courage, they're brave enough to try it out again because they know they don't have to memorize. So it becomes just plain fun. And honestly, there's so much laughter coming out of the Olive Room where we rehearse. You just laugh until you cry, and then we try to pass that on to the audience.
And you will. And you will. For the dinner theater on June 3rd, for the afternoon and mocktails afterwards on the 4th of June.
And
you got to mark your
meet
calendars.
the cast, get your autograph
Oh,
books out.
autographs.
Because we got playbills, so they can autograph the playbills.
Because you never know where these people are going.
That's
They're your neighbors today.
Right?
But you could be visiting, off
In-
Broadway in a couple of years.
That's a good idea.
Our town is just filled with great things. We have the rich natural beauty of the hills and the ocean, and the parks and the lakes and the ponds and the forests, and then we have these great people that support one another, and these great departments that put on activities. Like Parks and Rec and having lifeguards on our beaches and the East Lyme Public Trust that helps us run that boardwalk, which is ever so popular. Then we have great public works and all that. But these nuggets in town, and we have another one. The golden nuggets. And this is just great. I couldn't encourage our folks more in town to come out and support this. It's probably too late to get in on this production, but this is where you start. You start by buying a ticket, coming maybe to both productions. And it will be at the East Lyme Senior Center?
It's at the East Lyme Senior Center on the stage.
In the big room.
In the
activity
big
room.
room. And we actually add a few extensions to the stage.
Right.
And this year, for the first time, not only are we doing 2 shows, but we have gotten some wonderful support from the businesses in the surrounding community. We were all talking earlier, and everybody is talking about the budget cuts in Connecticut. And so we knew we had to step up to the plate and help Cathy. And the local businesses have stepped up to the plate. And maybe a first selectman.
We don't want to go there.
and they've helped us, and we're so appreciative of that. And we'd love more businesses to come to the show, and if they think it's worth supporting, maybe they will. And for people that want to join for the first time, we start rehearsal for the late fall, early winter production in either late July or early August.
Yeah,
Because
but-
we rehearse for a lot of months.
And if people are interested right now, they certainly can't get into a part in the show, but they can certainly
sign up.
help. Absolutely.
Oh,
well, they can
yeah.
help
Oh,
with
okay.
the
They can help
production
now,
too.
yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
The stagehands,
We need
there's
it.
people
Yeah.
taking
Yeah.
tickets at the door,
Right,
there's
right.
valet parking.
Absolutely.
We need help stagehands big time. Valet
Right,
parking,
right.
I'm not so sure.
I'll be out there parking your car. Wonderful, wonderful. So again, and we're kind of going back to the simple way of life a little bit. You know, we're putting on productions in our town, and with budget cuts, with the things that and that's where the big joy comes from. Is neighbors with another neighbor on a stage, doing something they haven't ever done before.
Or they did it, but it was so long
was
ago.
so long ago,
And, they had to give
yeah.
it up because it was, for whatever reason, whatever life experience happened, they had to
Yeah.
give it up. So it's, from my perspective, just watching people coming in and just watching that sort of shell sort of go away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And it's just
Yeah.
it's been a remarkable experience to have. And I'm not in the room with them, but I'll walk down the hallway and you
Sure.
can hear all the activity and the laughter and just the hoorah that's going on. And they're so enthusiastic. Their Facebook page is crazy because they're constantly Facebooking each other. There's so much energy. It's great. It's a really good addition to
And
us.
we need props and we need costumes. So we figure out what we need, and all of a sudden everybody's bringing in what's in their closet. I just got a
That's why my conference room looks the way it does.
yes. I just got a text this morning, and we have in Odd Couple, the female version, we need a plate full of spaghetti and sauce and meatballs when Florence and Olive are having an argument, and Florence settles down with her plate of spaghetti, and Olive takes a can of Lysol and sprays it all over her spaghetti. So we know we've got 2 shows, we've got dress rehearsal, tech rehearsal, and we can't use real food. So one of our actors spent the last weekend making a prop of a plate of spaghetti with meatballs with sauce and
No kidding.
Parmesan cheese and a little side salad, and it's hysterical. It looks
No
so
kidding.
real. Yeah. Whatever challenge there is, we come up
you
with
probably
it.
have enough props for a yard sale, probably the day after production. So come on by the senior center on the 5th of June,
You want a
and you can
fake
get
dish of
fake
spaghetti.
several plates of fake spaghetti and meatballs. Your other productions, you've been at this for a while, but your other East Lyme Players productions, what were they?
Our very first one was Plaza Suite,
All right,
and
classic.
it was wonderful. But that was our first Neil Simon. This is our second Neil Simon. It's wonderful to have Neil Simon as a gift for actors who haven't acted in a long time or ever, because his words are so funny.
Right.
He really leads you through it.
Right.
But now our actors are pretty seasoned after 4 productions. And so there'll be even more strength in this Neil Simon script. But then we did Agatha Christie's The Mousetrap. And we had a huge cast for that.
Yeah, that was a big
On
cast.
a postage-sized stage, and everybody was.
Right.
But they were supposed to be holed up in a lodge in the countryside of London with no way to get out, snowed in, and it was the winter when we were all snowed in.
Oh, dear.
So it was very appropriate.
Perfect.
And we planned it that way.
Yeah, we went that way. No, then they'll blame that winter.
Yeah. Or you're the one I can send the bill to. Okay.
And our last show that we did in the fall was Romantic Comedy by Bernard Slade, and that went over really well. wherever we go in town, someone is saying, "Oh, are you doing? What's the next show? When are you doing it?" We walk through the senior center. I walked into the conference room today. Oh, when's the next show? What is it? You know, it's wonderful, and it makes the members stars in the community now.
The stars and the radiant, like your outfit today, as we talked about earlier. Listen, so it's the East Lyme Players. They're putting on this great production at the Senior Center. It's East Limers and regional people. I'm sure there's some people from outside the East Lyme boundary, but this is on
we
June.
welcome all.
We welcome all. June 3rd and 4th at the Senior Center. There's a Facebook page you mentioned. Just look for East Lyme Players and you'll maybe
East
find
Lyme
it.
Players. Oh gosh, Shoreline. Phyllis, who created the page, made a very long title. But if you just go to Facebook and put in East Lyme Players, you'll find it.
Look for East Lyme Players or contact Cathy because she doesn't have enough people contacting her.
And you can contact me at shorelinedrama@gmail.com.
Shorelinedrama@gmail.com. And we'll get you some information.
Be thrilled.
I encourage you to come on out with your families, with your friends, with your knitting group, your poker group, your bridge group. Come on out, grab the neighbors and come on out June 3rd and 4th for a great production of, what's in it?
The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple, the female version.
female
We talked
version.
about this for half an hour. Can you tell we don't practice?
And have dinner or
Dinner?
meet and greet.
Dinner on the 3rd. And also prepare yourself for the next production. I do predict, because of this show, standing room only. So you'll probably want to get your tickets early.
That's right.
And bring an appetite. Any parting words? Any last words?
Well, I want to just thank you for this great opportunity and how much I've fallen in love with Niantic and East Lyme. I moved here permanently now, and I love this community.
We are so happy
really
to have
do.
you.
It's something very, very special. And I'm so happy to be part of it, and so thrilled to be working with Cathy and having you as our first selectman.
How about that?
Yeah.
We are very lucky to have you. Great talent comes into our town. They say we're here permanently. We're here to stay. We call this home. It's a great community. Thank you for tuning in. East Lyme Issues and Answers. Come find the East Lyme Players on June 3rd and 4th. My name is Mark Nickerson, your first selectman. If you have any questions, mnickerson@eltownhall.com. Send them on in. I'll answer every one of them. You have a good one. Until next time, we'll see you.